excited to introduce our next guest.
So excited.
She's a multi-platinum singer, songwriter, actress, and New York Times best-selling author who first broke onto the scene with Leave, Get Out, and Too Little, Too Late. Yeah. Y'all know those, right? Yeah. Becoming the youngest solo artist to top the Billboard Mainstream Top 40 chart. Since then, she's continued to evolve across music, film, theater, releasing critically acclaimed projects like Mad Love and Good to Know, earning a Grammy Award for Say So with PJ Morton, and taking on major roles on Broadway, including Moulin Rouge, the musical. Yeah. In 2024, she added author to that list with her best-selling memoir, Over the Influence, offering a deeper look into her personal and professional journey. Please join me in welcoming Jojo. Oh, hey guys! Hi! How are you guys doing? What's up, New York? Come on, Grammy U! Ladies, thank you for having me. Thank you so much for joining us here today. We're so excited.
This has been so cool. I love all your rings.
Oh, yeah.
Just getting a closer look at them all.
She's all decked out.
Okay.
She never misses with the accessories.
I'm living.
Oh, thanks.
Hey,
All right, we have so much to talk about, and like as an artist myself, I'm kind of like geeking out right now. Okay, so let's just jump into this.
Okay.
You have had fans who have been supporting your music since your first album, as well as younger generations who are just discovering you now. In fact, we were literally just like jamming out to you
The whole time,
like,
all week, preparing for
planning
this
conference.
conference. All the reps.
If you stalk Grammy U on
Thank you
social.
for those streams. I'll take them.
Yes.
Always.
How has your relationship with your fans evolved over the years as you've grown as an artist and a person?
My fans are so dedicated and amazing, and okay, yes, woo for Team Jojo, for real, for real.
Yes.
I feel like for those of us who've been together from the beginning, we've truly. Am I showing? Am I okay? Okay, I'm like, I just want to make sure. I'm modest, clearly. So it has been a growing up. Like, I mean, I recorded my first album at 12. And
Incredible.
a lot of people who've been with me for the beginning of that journey have gone on to have successes and failures in their own life and just go through the roller coaster that is the human experience. So I think that, like, it feels so, I feel that depth of our relationship in like the live performances. I really, really love that. It's amazing to be a touring artist and to get to step out into different cities and to feel that in the air, that like, oh, we're ready to touch and relate, and we're ready to have these shared experiences through nostalgia and through newness. And that's what's amazing about having the privilege of longevity, because not everyone's guaranteed that. And even just to like see another day, we're just not guaranteed anything. So the fact that I have this dedicated fan base, just speaking to that part of it is like so special. And then the way that streaming services work and the way that social media works and that younger people are just randomly discovering songs from over 20 years ago is very, very cool to me. Yeah. And that they don't know like any of the history or the back. Like, I don't care if you don't know about the fight with my record label. Like, I don't give a shit about that, you know? Like,
We'll touch on that.
Yeah, I'm just glad that you dig the song, and it's just, I'm so grateful that I have like a couple records that traveled the world and still resonate with little babies today. It's cool. It's really wild, yeah.
Yeah, and talking about your early experiences, you've spoken about how those experiences made you question your own creative instincts, right? So for instance, you were disappointed that your label wanted to release Leave, Get Out as your first single, but your fans really seemed to love it. And I know that led to some self-doubt. How did you eventually retrain yourself to trust your gut again?
I mean, I wasn't disappointed that they chose Leave, Get Out. So for those who don't know, Leave, Get Out was my first single. I recorded it at 12. I released it when I was 13. And the thing about that, just to give some context, is that like this might sound weird, but I never thought about being a pop star. I just thought that I was a soul singer. And then I just happened to become a pop star. My old manager was like, "You're the reluctant pop star." I'm like, I whatever, but like, or you know, a tortured pop star. I'm like, I didn't know that much about pop music, so I didn't understand. And I've done my research now, but it didn't sound like the rest of the album, so I was just confused. I'm always seeking to understand, and at 12 years old, I was seeking to understand too. So when the record label felt that that was going to be the song to go with, I was just like, but the rest of the album is like so hip hop or so R&B, like it wasn't quite adding up. But the truth is, they knew what they were doing. They knew what they were going to put their money behind. They knew much more than I knew. So since that was my first experience where I didn't quite get what was going on, I was like, oh, okay, so I should trust that other people know better than me. And at 12 years old, that's appropriate, I guess. You know, you hopefully have people in place that know more than you and will guide you. You don't always get lucky to have someone showing you the ropes or whatever, and it's not like it was a perfect linear path for me. But you asked about how I retrained myself to like trust myself.
Your gut, yeah.
To trust my gut. It's an everyday exercise in trusting my gut. And I feel like books and podcasts like Rick Rubin's are, who's read Rick Rubin's book? Yes, it's so necessary. I mean, it's something that I'm going to return to all the time. I mean, I think about things like The Artist's Way. I think about Rick Rubin's book. I think about The Untethered Soul, which is another great, like all the self-help has been really helpful for me in my journey. And I'm going to return to those things all the time because I don't know if anybody feels like this, but I feel like it is our job as artists and creatives to uniquely bring our perspectives and our synthesis of inspirations in a way that only we can. And no, we don't need another carbon copy of someone else. We don't need the safe stuff. We don't need, you know, Kehlani's album is already out. You know what I'm saying? And it is so important for R&B. And now, what are we all going to make next? You know what I mean? I think I was conditioned to be like, well, this is working, so that's what you need to do. And at a young, impressionable age, that's so confusing. So every day I'm having to like shed and just be like, do I like it? Do I think it's cool? Do I want to stand behind it? Whose voice am I hearing in my mind as opposed to like, it should be this way? Yeah. Like, there is no should. It's just like, what is resonant for us, I think is, and honestly, I try to align myself with people who don't question themselves. That's helpful for me too, proximity. Yeah. Jacob Collier is a great friend of mine, and did you guys get to see him here with Willow?
Yeah, y'all were here yesterday.
And I got to see him at the Blue Note the other night with Chris Thiele, and that was just like, as always, every time I see him on stage. But talk about someone who just trusts their gut and with great, I mean, he can do anything. He's a mastermind. He's a world builder, and to be in proximity with someone like Jacob or P.J. Morton, or you know, plenty of other people. But those are the first two that come to mind. That inspires me to kind of abandon any past conditioning that I'm still holding on to.
Yeah. That's such incredible advice about just protecting your voice and your authenticity as well.
Yeah, I think that's part of the job. It's like no one's gonna. It's protection. Yeah, protecting your artist, and that's kind of what The Artist's Way talks about too. That book is like being in your artist's essence, and you know, like going on artist dates or whatever. Like taking yourself out to go see inspiring things, be around inspiring people. And protecting that, because our artist is also our inner child, so it's inner child work as well, I think.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So talking about that, what advice would you give to artists about protecting their voice and like creatively and professionally so early on? Like we were just discussing how 12, 13 years old, that's such an impressionable age. And I'm sure you felt like a lot of pressure on yourself.
I wanted that pressure, though. I never wanted to be a kid. I was like, can we speed this shit up? Like, I'm ready to go work. I'm ready to, I have 5 hours in the day I wanted to work, basically. But, so the question was how to protect that.
Just like advice to other artists.
Yeah. I'm always hesitant to give like prescriptive advice because I think that it is such an individual path. But the things that I find helpful are to be really sensitive to what your yeses are and your nos are, and be protective of what it is that you like. Everyone's going to have opinions, and not everyone's opinion needs to go all the way in. I think that, like, for me personally, I like to know what people think, but I maybe only in one hand or two hands really am looking, to someone else to tell me, like, this is what you need to be doing. For me, following what lights me up has been game-changing in my life and career, because there are so many things that people told me I should do that actually drain me of my life force. Mm-hmm. And Jacob was giving a talk at NYU, I think it was, recently, and I was voice noting it because I was like, he is spitting knowledge, and it was so inspiring. He was talking about vitality, and that he's seeking what brings vitality. Yeah. And I realized that that's what I've been looking for too. I live in New York now. I lived in LA for 13 years, and I have so much love for the West Coast, and I have so much love for, honestly, anywhere. I think you can kind of find the beauty in almost anywhere you are. I think a lot of artists, can find like the inspiration wherever. But I found that I was slowly not feeling it over there. And my team even was like, you want to do musical theater? You want to move to New York? No, the music industry isn't happening in New York. Yeah, you really need to stay in LA, blah, blah, blah. Everyone's there. I'm like, I don't care. Like, I'm closer to my family on the East Coast. There's something in my spirit that's telling me that there's something for me here. And so my advice would be like, if you feel compelled to do something and it's not going to hurt nobody else, go ahead and do it. Like, that's really...
Yeah, that was incredible right there.
Because you don't want to look back and regret that you didn't take a chance and then you blame it on someone else. You can't blame your decisions on anyone else. I think I did that for a while. I'm like, well, you told me to do this. I'm like, but I said okay. And I'm kind of speaking about like when I cut songs that I didn't like, or when I, was exploring genres that I didn't really resonate with, or wore things that I was like, I feel stupid, or like I feel boring, or I feel whatever. So I think that it's easier with age, but I know y'all can do it before I could. I needed to grow into the audacity and the courage. But I think that you guys have that. And I think being a part of communities that can hold a mirror to you and serve as inspiration, and you can look around and be like, oh, what you're doing is sick. And it doesn't make me feel like bad about myself, but I'm like, I want to do sick shit too, So I think it's so awesome to be around other artists, to put yourself in positions to be around people that are doing stuff. Doesn't need to be in the same vein. Sometimes, like, I love being around other singers. Are you guys singers or producers? Ever? Okay.
Amazing. She's
okay.
amazing.
Oh my God. I want to hear. So sing.
No.
Don't you love being on the spot and someone's just like,
Honestly, like maybe like sometimes, but not right now.
Oh, I'm totally
because I'm sharing the stage with you, so this is already like, oh my God.
No, I'm totally kidding. I just, as singers, they're always like, and go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been there. it's terrifying.
But I just think it's really inspiring to be around other people that are doing cool stuff. Yeah.
You said you don't like to give prescriptive advice, but that was incredible advice.
Oh,
that really resonated with me.
Good.
Yeah. I think, we're all, it's so early on in our careers that saying yes to ourselves and not listening to what other people have to say is so important.
Do you think that's easier said than done, though?
Absolutely.
Like, I mean, I feel like I've been doing this so long that I can't imagine what it feels like to be starting out right now in this wild climate, in this changing landscape of 2020. I'm like, 2026, right? What year is it? And I'm sure a lot of people give the advice of like, just throw your stuff on TikTok and like, virality. And it's like, where's the artistry in that? So I just want to say that I feel like it's a very exciting time to be an artist and to be a new artist, and genres don't really matter now, and you can literally do it. It's the best time to do whatever the F you want. But I also, my heart goes out to you guys because it's just like more music than ever is being uploaded, every single day. So you're like, how do I cut through? But those that do really, really do, and it's really cool.
And it's like you also have to be a jack of all trades. Like you need to know how to market yourself. You need to be an influencer and a content creator, and like also be good at songwriting, and also be like, it's
because you're never gonna make any money if you're not writing the songs too.
Yes.
And if you're not a touring artist, it's like it's really challenging to think about how do I live a creative life and be an artist in this economy, and and learning how to like. No one is a master of all these things.
Yeah.
So, and that's why we can't exist in a vacuum. And here I am saying I'm not giving prescriptive advice, but if you can find people that do things that could be helpful, y'all can help each other too. Like, if you don't produce, maybe you have a friend who is into production, great. Someone who's like really good with the content, great. Bring them on, have a little pod, just make stuff together.
And this is our community, right? Grammy U, this is our community of
exactly.
people.
It's all right here at your fingertips.
Speaking of artistry and collaboration, when you're in the process of creating, what kind of things have been like inspiring you recently? Is there like artists that are inspiring you? I saw that there was a little guest appearance last night.
Last night? Yes! I was at a Madison Square Garden, y'all, with Demi Lovato. It was so fun. And the energy was crazy there. MSG is the pinnacle. So I was so proud of her, and I've known her since we were kids, and it was just really cool. But yeah, I try to see as much live music as possible. And since moving to New York, that gives me even more. Do you guys live here? You live here, right? Since moving here, I've just taken advantage of that as much as possible. So I love to go see theater. I love, you just get to see the top tier of performers that are doing it 8 times a week right here. And I absolutely love the jazz scene here. I go to the Village. I was just at Blue Note, like I said, for Jacob, and Smoke in Harlem, and what's the other one? Birdland, and there's just so many. I love to go to the opera. I love Timothy. The ballet. No, I just try to be inspired as much as possible. There's so many opportunities here. And even like street performers, I always try to make sure that I have some cash on me so I can, give them something. There's so much incredible talent all around us. Sometimes on the subway, you see some weird stuff. You see some like acrobatics and stuff. I'm like, I need a stretch. There's just inspiration all the time. And actually, I just got to go to Bogalusa, Louisiana. My friend PJ Morton just acquired this studio called Studio in the Country, which is an amazing history. It was built in 1972 by the same designers that built Westlake Studios in LA, which is where Michael Jackson and Quincy Jones did a lot of stuff historically. So this place in Louisiana, Stevie Wonder recorded the Secret Life of Plants album at. Wow. So just being in that place, you can still, the carpets are the same. It's like mothballs. It's like, it's a time capsule. And that song, Carry On My Wayward Son by Kansas was recorded there. They did their whole album there and stuff. So I was just in the live room with PJ, and he was playing me stuff, and I was just hoping to get positively possessed by the energy there. So just putting myself in positions to go have some new experiences too. I flew to New Orleans. I drove 80 miles. Yeah, New Orleans. I drove 80 miles to Bogalusa. I hope I'm saying that place right. And I just like, that lights me up though. That makes me feel vital to be able to go to a place I've never been to and make some music. And it was just PJ and I, and we were making stuff for a new album that I'm slowly but surely, starting to assemble songs for. And I'm so inspired. And I do feel that it is our responsibility as artists. We're gonna go through ebbs and flows. We're not always gonna be like lit up and inspired. But I do think it's our job to find those things that keep us feeling good. And yeah, so in this album mode, I'm listening to a lot of stuff, listening to a lot of music from the early 80s. I'm really into like Patrice Rushen, George Benson, Quincy Jones, Rod Temperton production, Minnie Riperton. I think that's late 70s, but like I'm just like interested in like a little bit post-disco, like when they're starting to get like real groove oriented. And yeah, Tina Marie, shit is fire. And I'm really inspired by it and like getting real specific with the sounds. And I love what's going on right now. I love listening. There's this new artist, Gareth Donkin. Does anyone know Gareth Donkin? Yes. Those who don't know, you guys are going to freak out. He just released an album. He's like 25. He's like a one-man band. He's from the UK. Like discovering new artists gets me so hype. So check out Gareth, not Garth, Gareth.
I just landed in New York. Where are we?
Period. Where are we?
I just landed in New York a couple days ago, and I just being here, I felt such an inspiration just of the city. I don't know if y'all feel that way too. I know not everybody's from New York. I just feel so inspired being here. So that's location is so important.
Where are you from?
Texas.
Okay.
Texas chapter, y'all here?
Okay.
Okay, a little bit.
A little reluctant woo.
Yeah. So your music career has spanned so many genres, performing in various styles like R&B, jazz, musicals, and classic standards. Does being an independent artist provide more freedom to explore creatively without limitations?
I think so. I think that there's a lot of reasons why labels or people in general want to categorize things, because even like my friend, who you guys all know, I'm just not going to call them out like this, but they were playing me their album, and I'm keeping it gender neutral, whatever. So they were playing me their album, and I was like, what genre are you going to put this in? What are you going to, for Grammy submission, what is this going to be under? And that's what's challenging, I think, about like when you really love all different types of things, what do you call it? That's why, people want to be able to know, how do we market this? It really probably comes down to marketing. So I understand it now that I'm older. I used to be so mad. I'm like, stop trying to put me in a box. But I'm like, okay, it's because it's a whole machine and there's money behind it and there's business behind it and everything. But since I've kind of unsubscribed from the idea of like, I need to be the biggest star in the world, and actually I kind of just need to like do what's right for my nervous system and seek longevity and seek fulfillment. That feels much better to me than white knuckling it to be something that I'm not meant to be. And so having the flexibility to take 3 months off and say yes to a musical, or to create something with a friend, like a side project, or take some time and write a book or whatever, that is one of the blessings of being an independent artist. And I talk to a lot of my friends who have been a part of the major label systems before, and I think we're just interested in a new way forward. It just doesn't seem equitable anymore. And I'm so grateful to get to play with my voice, because I was a singer before anything, from the age of 2-3 years old, or whenever I started identifying as something, I'm like, I'm a singer. And the fact that I get to sing jazz standards with John Batiste, or I get to, do musical theater with Aaron Tveit, or I get, it's just so fun, or I get to go sing with my sis Tori Kelly, and we're doing like pop R&B, or do some weird experimental stuff with Jacob. It is such a pleasure. It's like the thrill of my life to just get to play with my voice.
Yeah. And how do you navigate which opportunities will be beneficial career moves?
I let my team tell me about beneficial career moves, because someone said to me over 10 years ago, they were like, I think they meant it as a compliment, but they were like, you sound like a label person, or a manager, the way that I'm like, I don't know if that's going to be, the most beneficial, or I don't know the word I use, but I was being very strategic, and that feels so gross. I am not a strategic person. I try to be discerning about like what is true and correct and like makes sense, but I have a team. Randy Jackson of American Idol is actually my co-manager, and he is so amazing because he started as a bass player, then became an executive in the music industry, and then, the dog, Randy Jackson, on American Idol. And so he definitely is like, you shouldn't do that. I'm like, respectfully, I appreciate that. I'm still going to do it. But yeah, I also think about like, where do I want to go? What do I want to represent? So I kind of just contradicted myself. I do think about like what's correct for me, but I try not to think about it as like, I never want it to feel like climbing. I've never been good at that. If I don't like someone, I just don't like them. I just can't do it. So I try to see if something would be fun and sound like it might light me up, or it might be positive for other people and myself, ideally.
Yeah, being authentic is key.
Absolutely.
But
Yes.
Speaking about different genres and musical theater, I'd love to give a big congratulations to you. You're going to be Florence Vassy in Chess. Like, hello.
Do we have any musical theater kids in the audience? Yes! I knew I felt us in the room.
Yes, this is such an exciting moment. When you're performing in musicals, how do you balance your career as an artist physically and mentally while committing to a role like that?
It's all consuming. Broadway is the hardest thing that any performer this is what I hear, and I'm like, I agree, that it's the hardest thing you'll ever do as a performer. And people who are in plays feel that way. And then if you're also singing on top of it, you are living for your voice. At least I am.
8 times a week.
8 times a week.
It's insane.
I don't know how Nicole Scherzinger did Sunset Boulevard 8 times a week. Like, she literally like ripped out her heart and put it on the stage every time. And I saw it like 5 times. And I just want to celebrate her performance again, because I was just like in shambles from the audience every single time. And that's expected every single time. And I just think it's amazing. And then there's the press on top of it, and then there's the talking, and then there's stage door, and it really is. I have no balance really while I'm in a show. So it's like, I heard that Meg Thee Stallion, when she's in Moulin Rouge right now, was also making music while she was in it, and I'm like, she's gonna learn that that's not really possible. It's really, there's just
hard.
you kind of have to. At least for me, I spend the day preparing for the night, and then there's those 2 show days, where you just wake up, have a bagel, and and spend the day at the theater. But I love it so much, and I love it's the community for me. That's the best part, and the fact that you get to share the stage with people who also have their own things going on, and you bring that, and you feel that energy, and it's really magical. But it's very athletic, I think.
Yeah.
It instilled in me a discipline that I really yearned to see if I was capable of, and it changed my life forever. So when I did Moulin Rouge for the first time in 2023, I spent a lot of time vocally preparing for it, physically preparing for it, and wanting to just not be winded at all, running on the treadmill, doing all the age-old things that people do. And I just think that it really showed me that I was capable of it. So that was a good feeling. Also, to be so deep into my career and to still have new experiences and new things to be excited about. So I'm super hype about Chess. I hope you guys will come see it. My first night is June 23rd, and I'll be in there till September 13th. And does anybody know the score from Chess? Oh, cool. It's so cool. It's the guys from ABBA wrote it, and the guys from ABBA and Tim Rice. So it's like classical / rock opera.
So fun.
It's really, really dope. So I'm very hyped to be singing these songs. And Leah Michelle is spectacular in this role. So I just hope to hold it down for a few weeks and see what I can do. It'll be really fun.
Well, I'm so excited. I'm going to buy a ticket literally
thank you.
right after this. Thank you so much for joining us
This
today.
was a joy. You guys are amazing. Thank you.
You're amazing. I'm so excited to hear about what's next for you too with this album. I will
Thank
be
you.
streaming.
You guys, I'm so honored to be a part of this panel, and I love what Grammy U does, and just thank you for embracing me, and congratulations on beginning your journey, and I just can't wait to see what the fruits of all of this is going to bear. So
Everyone give it up for
You have a great
Jojo.
thanks, guys.
Thank you.